part of interviewing a new captain was going sailing with him a few times, so we decided to take Intrepid down to Hout Bay, about, 20 miles south of Cape Town, and just see how it all went. This is try number 1.
Well, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm motor sailing past Sea Point at the moment. That's Sea Point and Lion's Head on the port beam. We've got a moderate westerly wind blowing that was certainly not forecast. And Rebecca and I decided to go out for a sail. All forecasts, all the models that we looked at showed southerly wind, south to southeast later on. And again, relatively strong, up to 20 knots. That's not too bad, with sea state 2.1, 2.2 meters. So we thought we would just go due west and keep going. Maybe, tomorrow pop into Hout Bay and spend some time there. We're beating directly into a westerly wind that's pretty common for Cape Town, where all the models, all the forecasts will show you one thing and then you get something else. So we're just going to keep beating until we get around the peninsula, and with the westerly, if it's still blowing westerly, then we can head south, and through the course of the evening it should swing back to southeast again, and then we can make our way further out to sea. It's a lovely evening. Rebecca's gone down below.
Yep, I've gone down below all right. Boy, on this little 31-foot boat, when the weather picks up ever so slightly, gosh, is it nauseating. He loved the rough weather. He had a great sense of direction. He understood the weather. And, he was just going to keep going. So, what's not to like?
Sorry for Rebecca, I'm sure she's not too great down below. So we'll see how it goes. If this gets any more uncomfortable, we'll have to rethink what we're doing. We can always head home again, but this is pretty unpleasant. And down below, a small boat like this is only 1 footer. You can see how she's rocking and rolling. It's not going to be fun down below. So we'll see how it goes. I'm prepared to pull an all-nighter, but we don't have an autopilot working at the moment. So I'll be helping the whole way. And of course I'm harnessed in.
Wearing a harness, well, that certainly scores him a point in my book. Some captains prefer not to be clipped in because they feel that they just trip over the lines and they can't do the job that they wanted to do. But I'm very happy that Michael wants to wear a harness. It really says a lot about how he wants to keep the boat safe and us safe.
I think I'm going to have to take a reef sometime soon if this gets any stronger. Maybe just curl in and sail a little. But I don't have any weather help, so she's actually tracking quite nicely. I'm not overly concerned. I know once we get around the point over there, we're bound to get another set of conditions. We'll get more swell. We're a little bit in the lee here of the southwesterly swells, and that will probably be a whole lot more pleasant. So I'm glad to at least get as far as the point and have a look at what the sea state's like over there, and we'll turn around and go home.
It's pretty lousy down here, but hey, I'm happy to be going to Hout Bay.
The alarm keeps going off on the chart plotter. I'm not sure what it is. It pops up, says warning, and then disappears before you can even get there and have a look at it. But I can't see what. We're not near any hazards, so I have no idea what that's all about. Anyway, well, I'll just keep on sailing. It's just not getting any better. It's not calming down, and the sea, as I said earlier, around Hout Bay, there's going to be a lot more sea. It's messy.
I could have put up with it, but Mike felt bad for me and turned around.
Are we going in the right direction?
It feels better.
Yeah. Oh, what a terrible run that was, eh? But you'll at least catch the sunset. It's very comfortable up here if you want to get warm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Then you turn around, it was a huge difference.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, beating into the wind like this is horrible.
Yeah.
So we don't need to kill ourselves.
I mean, it was actually quite comfortable in the little bed back there, but as long as I closed my eyes. The minute I'd open my eyes, it was like being drunk. Being drunk right before you're going to barf and you have head spin.
It's not fun down there.
What is it called when you're spinning, when you're drunk, when you're not quite throwing up?
Miserable, I think.
Bed spins, like you just like look and the whole world spins around and then comes back to the same spot and then it comes around and comes back to the same spot again. But you're not quite puking. It's a mess downstairs.
I just heard things crashing and falling and...
Yeah, the first aid kit almost lost it, but
oh, really?
managed to stay in there.
Is it all over the show?
It's not all over the place. No, it unbuckled itself and I just slammed the closet shut. Oh, this is much better.
There we go.
Much better.
Okay. We look like we're in the Arctic.
Is it facing us or facing the sun?
It's facing us.
Oh.
We're facing the sun.
Gentlemen only sail to weather? I mean,
yes,
gentlemen
to wind.
only sail downwind?
Downwind, is it?
Oh my God.
You didn't think I was a gentleman.
You obviously are.
Chasing us, eh? They think we're a fishing boat. Okay, we got nothing for you. Look, now they've all stopped. They thought we had fish.
The ride home was great. The water was beautiful, the scenery was beautiful, and we really had a nice time together sailing back to Granger Bay.
This feels like a lot more than 21 knots of wind, eh? So what do you think of sailing Intrepid? Lots of fun.
Not brick house.
Yeah, she's a bit of a fun ride. You get tossed around when there's some wind and some swell and it's bouncy like this. She's not fun. This is the best place to be in the cockpit.
Yeah. Kind of like an amusement park ride that you didn't really want to go on.
You're right. Certainly like an amusement park ride you didn't want to pay for. Somebody said you could go on it and it's for free, then yeah, you give it a go. But when you're up there puking your lungs out, then all of a sudden you think, fuck, I paid for this.
I paid a lot.
Please, it should be sheltered. We can have a look at dropping anchor there. It should still be light when we get there.
So we happily anchored and had a nice dinner, hung out, actually stayed here for a couple days and just relaxed and got to know each other a little bit better. So another part of just, getting to know the captain and seeing if we'd get along well together was just relaxing, enjoying the sunset, enjoying making a dinner on a small little boat, and enjoying eating it on a small boat. So being the navigator on board and pretty good with the electronics, I showed Mike how to set an anchor alarm with a very close interval recording the route so that you could tell that you were not dragging. So we had a very restful night's sleep. The anchor alarm went off a couple times because I set the distance too short, but better safe than sorry.
If you're going to be washing dishes, it may as well be in a beautiful location, eh?
Yeah. Didn't know you were filming. As you can see, Mike loves using that camera, so that bodes well for the future of our video channel. I just hope that he can edit these videos too, because as you can see, I don't know how to edit them very well, but he's a great photographer, wouldn't you say? Having a YouTube channel really is a lot of work. I mean, it's one thing filming these. We seem to have no problem filming things, but actually sitting down and doing the editing and being able to show you guys this beautiful footage is a whole nother ball of wax. Well, my favorite part of a ruckus sail is dinner after. And a nice anchorage.
So what have we got there?
We have a chicken mayo sandwich with celery greens, chips, well, crisps as you call them in South Africa.
And the weirdest thing I've ever heard of, grapes.
And grapes inside the chicken salad. Why not?
Okay.
Add a little sweetness without adding sugar.
Where did you learn that?
I don't know. Somewhere in my life.
Sounds like a Polynesian invention.
Could be. Except for I'm not even sure you could find grapes in Polynesia. So.
You'd have to have been there to know that.
Papamoose, yeah, but no grapes. Maybe in Tahiti. So the next weekend we gave it another go. This time we brought Mike's friend Paul with us, and we had a nice sail, perfect weather, perfect waves, perfect wind, and we managed to sail all the way down. As you can see, Mike really keeps a watchful eye on things. He's always running forward to adjust things and, making sure everything is going well on the boat, double checking the rigging, and stop watching me. Even a dolphin wanted to get into the action. So we carefully navigated around the corner into Hout Bay, and then we made some phone calls. We're out near the rocks, so we're about to turn around and turn the corner, so we'll be in an hour. All right, we'll see you then. Okay, bye.
So what's the scoop?
Yeah, Craig also says port side tie-up is probably better. Both sides are open, port or starboard side tie-up, but we'd be blown away from the dock on the port side, and we'd be blown up against the dock on the starboard side.
So we'll go starboard.
With port side 2, right? Port side 2 to be blown away from the dock. That side, Captain.
On the left.
On the left side of the boat as you face forward.
Yeah, so why would you choose to be on the port side?
To be blown away from the dock instead of being
You mean during the night?
pinned against the dock.
Okay, I thought for coming alongside, blowing onto the dock is easier.
Yeah, easier.
Oh, look at that sunset.
Even though we knew Hout Bay, all three of us, pretty well, we were still racing against the clock to try to get in before the sun went down. Always nicer to come in daylight as opposed to in the dark. This area does have a lot of rocks and shallows, so we're all keeping a pretty good lookout for anything that we can see in the water as it's getting dark. It's freezing. Would you bring me to Patagonia when I wasn't looking? How can you not be freezing?
Not warm.
It's so cold.
Skill jackets.
Yeah, I guess so.
What inside of your truck here, Mike? Are you happy with that?
Yes, look, so long as we know that beyond these rocks is a very shallow area.
Do you want me to go around the rocks? Or inside
Yes,
them?
no, to the outside, well to the outside.
We always go through them.
And you rubber duck, absolutely.
Yeah, we only like what meters up.
Did you ever go and snorkel with the seals over
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Oh, that must be
It's
so
amazing, yes.
awesome. I guess I'm not the only one freezing.
I think a pretty important question would be, so how long have you been sailing? Have you ever crashed a boat? Have you ever run aground?
How many times a night do you get up to feed? Because I'm very light sleeper.
Does your boat ever fill up with water onto the floorboards? Have you ever lost control of the engine?
How many hours have you got on the clock?
Do you know how to operate your chart plotter? Or any of your instruments?
Even more relevant is how many instruments do you need?
What's the furthest you've ever sailed without incident? Well, I went to Robben Island once.
You can tell by the quick response here, you have a slightly dim-witted skipper. He's not quite as quick on the mark as one might expect.
Turned around.
Huh?
How does it feel to be sailing around the world with the most fair weather woman you've ever met?
I think it's going to be a challenge to change all of that. I think you've already proven that you have a slight yearning for a rougher cruising style.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and I am elderly, according to South African standards.
You're not homely.
At least I'm not homely, yeah. It's like Rachel came right down, she goes, oh, it's so homely in here. And I said, you know what that means in America? It means it's freaking ugly.
Whoa!
Right. Hey, Craig. So things got calm again, and we were in the Hout Bay marina, where Patrick had the last fun that he had in life, and the last work that he had in life, and the last hikes that he had in life, and the last friends that he had in life. So it was, it was a little sad and a little happy to be here all at the same time. So Mike's boat Intrepid was our home for the next 24 hours at the Hout Bay Yacht Club, as we explored the areas around the club and visited some of the places that Patrick and I spent some time at. I hadn't been to the Hout Bay Yacht Club for a long time to visit all the people that we knew so well there, and hadn't seen the chair yet that they had made for Patrick and I at the yacht club. So I sat in that for a while, overlooked the harbor, thought about things. Hey, cheers. Thanks to all my friends at the Hout Bay Yacht Club. Love Patrick and I's chair, and very honored to have that in our name. And it was good seeing everybody this weekend, and for everybody I didn't see this weekend, maybe we'll catch you next time, but yeah, thanks so much for the great chair. Such an honor. When we were at the Hout Bay Yacht Club, the yacht club was mostly closed. We got there right before lockdown. Well, maybe a month before lockdown. And but it was still nice to see that the club was open. It had been all renovated. They were serving lots of good food. And Hout Bay will always hold a special place in my heart. Both Hout Bay and Cape Town Yacht Club has been equally as good to us, and it's just sad to leave all these great people behind and this great place behind. I hope that I'll be back again someday.
Perfect.
So when it was time to come back, Rayhart, who will be with us from Cape Town to Namibia, sailed back with us.
A lot of the video I take of you standing exactly where you're standing. Do I just time it that way, or is that your happy space?
No, it's like it keeps the bottom, like 3/4 of my body warm and out of the breeze.
Okay. That's a good enough reason for me.
I mean, how often have you been sailing? Do you actually spend in the cockpit?
In the cockpit?
Highly unusual.
Yeah, this is the Brickhouse way. Is you set your autopilot, and you go down below and make coffee.
Okay.
Or
I mean,
one person
surely if
stays
they're
here
down
underneath.
below, you can't see how awesome everything is, how beautiful the world is, isn't it?
Yes.
After a 30-day crossing, I don't know.
I suppose, eh?
It's going to be damned hard to get me down below on a beautiful day.
Yeah.
No, usually like if it's my watch, I'll just sit right here under the Dodger. You know, hopefully look around once in a while.
You're not going to be below baking bread?
No.
No.
Remember, I don't cook. That's you. You cook, you sail, you fix.
Okay.
Simple.
So long as we got that
Everything.
straight, huh? Anything I've left out, just let me know. I'm going to have to double check that job description pretty quickly.
Read the fine print in the contract, Mike.
That's right.
Slowly, get a second opinion on the contract.
Talk with your lawyer.
Your lawyer can talk to my lawyer. We'll come to some agreement, I'm sure.
Unnecessary.
I mean, it's fun. I like racing when I'm actually doing it. I like it. It was a great sail back, great wind, no waves, sunny day. Couldn't be better.
Hey, Captain. You're looking very studly out there.
Studley. The old blue hairs are starting to say that's a pretty good catch you got there, Rebecca.
That's awesome. He says with a confused look at his face.
And then my friend Wendy is like, woo!
Oh my god, good lord.
The minute I showed her the picture, he's Chuck Rogers' brother, isn't he?
Yeah, look at him now. It's all going to go to his head. We better be careful. But he's a good guy and a good captain, and I'm excited about sailing off with him. In less than a week, we'll be headed across the Atlantic Ocean. Who would have thunk it?